Thank you, PDC Kala. I request our District Chairman, Kamala Selvam, to come to the stage with Hemu and present her with a small token of our appreciation for being here this morning and sharing her time and experiences with us.
We have 7 entrepreneurs, 1 from each district, who will share their stories of their journeys.
What a variety of fields they are involved in. Construction, farming, boutiques, agarbatti manufacture, education, restaurants.
I know, I'm overawed. Looking forward to this section.
I invite all the members who have to be on this panel discussion to the stage, please. Please come and occupy your chairs.
Good morning to my lovely audience. We are gathered here together with the spirit of entrepreneurship binding us. Yeah? Current and future entrepreneurs. The nature of being an entrepreneur means that you are comfortable with being challenged constantly. Choosing this career path is completely irrational because of the odds of succeeding that are so dismal, but most succeed because of their unwavering belief, focus on delivery, and sheer persistence. I would like to share some quotes from people who have been there before us. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. I would say this because in the entrepreneurial journey, we face so many failures and we just get up and we move on and say, okay, we've learned one more thing. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. Logic will get you from point A to point B. Imagination will get you anywhere. I think that's the dream that all of us have, and we did that. This is Albert Einstein. And now, a last one from Mark Twain. I think this is the thing that's such a motivational thing written years and years ago. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. So, throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. Now I want to present 7 smart ladies from 7 districts who dared to dream, who will tell you their stories in a few minutes each. And we will then open the session to Q&A. You may address the questions to any member of the panel and ask for anything. There will be mics floating around. So let me start by, got a list. I want to invite Sujata Senthil Kumar, who runs a brand called Ragas, the music of colors.
Good morning, one and all present here. It's really awesome to be here in this moment, and I am proud to be a part of this debate. I am PDC Sujata Senthil Kumaran of District 298, and as an entrepreneur, I'm in this business for the past 9 years. I started my boutique Raha along with 4 of my friends. It was just an accident. My hailing from a transport and a borewell family, this field was something very new to me. And this was one of the first of its kind in our town, and we really had a great start. After 3 to 3.5 years, there was a situation where I had to take over the boutique all alone, which was really sick at that moment. It was a prestige issue for me. So I was focused to bring it back to a standard position, and I was firm that this venture should be a definite success. So with the support of my family and friends, I started it all over again. With sincere effort and constantly making frequent contacts with the manufacturers, suppliers, and the customers, we were ready to give whatever they wished, and to our level best, we provided all good stuffs. The reaction from the customers was so encouraging that we have now become a reliable showroom, growing day by day. With the pandemic situation looming large, many small businesses disappeared, as you all know. Now we decided to go online, and at this juncture, I would wish to thank one of my inner wheel friend, Keerthi Jaikant, who came to market our products online via Facebook and Instagram. Because of this online trading, we were able to reach many customers across the globe. I would happily wish to say that we ship our products to almost all the countries: Canada, USA, Europe, Asia, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, New Zealand, Gulf countries, etc. Thank you, thank you. With extreme customer care and genuine products, we are striving hard to satisfy each and every customer and to earn their trust. And now I'm happy to see the turnover of my boutique is increasing every year. Along with the business, my being an inner wheel member at heart, I support my staff girls to pursue their higher studies, and I keep in mind to support with minimum of all the clothes needed for a girl raised in an orphanage run by my uncle, Universal Peace Foundation, which is recognized as one of the best orphanage run in Tamil Nadu by the Tamil Nadu government. So I support them with all the needed clothes to minimum 5 girls. At this juncture, I should say that perfect intermediate play between the customers and the manufacturers plays a vital role in success of any business. I would personally suggest the following tips for a business to be long-standing: hard work and sincerity, never lose heart at difficult situations, never ever give up, always treat the customers as an angel at your doorstep, keep updating yourself. Anything is possible with consistent and focused efforts. And thank you all so much for listening to me with a great patience, and wish you all kindle up the spirits within you to become an entrepreneur. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata. And now we invite really interesting person, Nagaratna, all the way from Karnataka. She's done an amazing story of a preschool, and she'll tell you about her journey.
Dear friends, good afternoon everyone. Hello. As every child has a dream, I had a dream too. As a young girl, I want to become a teacher. But the dream grew along with me as I was growing. My dream was also growing. I wanted to build, construct and run a school. When I joined my elder daughter Nivedita to her pre-primary education, I got to know about Vidya Bharati's system, culture, goals and curriculum. I got answers to my questions: how and when to open the school. And the dream came true because of my husband, the dynamic businessman, supported me. As my husband Badrinath, he is treasurer, I got financial support as and when I needed. In the year 2021 and 22, we started our school with 13 students. Now we crossed 300 plus. As you all have challenges in your life, I am also one among you. I also face some challenges in my life. I am a BCom graduate and I don't have proper guidance to frame pre-primary syllabus. Later, I took every challenges came up as an opportunity to discover the possibilities of my strength, and I did my Montessori pre-primary course at the age of 37, and I did my Montessori pre-primary course and opened Montessori system of education first ever before in Chitradurga district. My another challenge was I carried my younger daughter Tulsi from feeding baby, 9 months baby, up to 6 years to school. I suffered with 7 accidents in my life. The reality never gone die. I did face many challenges in my life while balancing my career, my social life, and also my personal life. My future plans are, after gaining lot of experience in pre-primary education field, I would like to share my knowledge by extending Gnanadeepa institutions with more branches. I wish to start from 2021 and 22 Gnanadeepa Kannada Kalika Kendra, as I already developed and published Kannada learning textbooks for all category and for all who wish to learn Kannada. I wish to start Teachers Training Academy. My lifetime motto is Namuna Rupa Shishu Mandira. About this, I want to tell you in Kannada only. Sorry for that. ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೃಷಿಕ ತನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಯುವಾಗ ಬೀಜ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ನಾವೇನು ಬೀಜವನ್ನು ಅವರು ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಫೈನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗಂಡು ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ತಯಾರಾಗುವಂತಹ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಬೀಜ ಫಿಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೈನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ದೇ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಫೈನ್ ಇನ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು? ವಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಇನ್ ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಭಾರತ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಯೋಗದಿಂದ ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರು ನಾವು ಫೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೈತ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದಾದರೆ ವೆದರು, ಮಣ್ಣು, ಕಾಲ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅವನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೀತಾನೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು? ಪುರೋಹಿತರು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಮಗು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಗರ್ಭ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ, ಅದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ನಂತರ 0 to 1 year ತಾಯಂದ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಬೇಕು, ವಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಏಜ್ ಆಫ್ 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ತಾಯಿ ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಪಡೆದಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದೇ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅವರು ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಾಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, ಭಗತ್ ಸಿಂಗ್, ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಕವಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಕುವೆಂಪು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಹ ತಾಯಂದ್ರಿಂದಲೇ. ನಮಗೆ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳಿದೆ. ಬಬ್ರುವಾಹನ, ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜೀಜಾಬಾಯಿಯ ಮಗ ಶಿವಾಜಿ, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅಂತಹ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಾಕಬೇಕು. ಅದೇ ನಮೂನಾ ರೂಪ ಶಿಶು ಮಂದಿರ. ಆ ಶಿಶು ಮಂದಿರದ ಫೈನಲಿ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಾಡು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಥಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಿನಿಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದರ ಜೀವನದ ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ದೇಶ ಸೇ ಹೇ ಪ್ಯಾರು ತೋ ಹರ್ ಪಲ್ ಯೇ ಕಹನಾ ಚಾಹಿಯೇ, मैं रहूं या ना रहूं, भारतीय रहना चाहिए. Now profession, we don't know, irrespective of a profession we can do, but it must be dedicated to our nation. So ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ. ಮುಂದೆ ಅಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು.
Dear member, can I just 1 minute?
And
Can I stop you for a minute, please? Hemu? Hemu, 1 minute. Panelists, we know that you're eager to share what you have here, but we have a paucity of time. So please restrict it to 3 minutes that was granted to you.
If it's over, I will stop.
1 minute. No, 3 minutes is over long ago. So, because our president and immediate past president have a flight to catch, they're getting edgy. They want to listen to everybody. So please retain it to 3 minutes. We'll give you more time at another occasion.
No,
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's over?
That's
Okay.
Thank
Finally, I want to thank our district chairman, Jyoti Lakshman, and also national editor Veena Swami for supporting me and select me for this panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I invite Jahnavi, who's going to talk about her perfumery business. We'd like to keep this short for the simple reason that we want the audience to participate and ask questions of any kind, and want to keep a few minutes for that.
Dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends, this is the first time in my life my company, cycle brand Agarbatti, is exposing a woman. So we need to appreciate the younger generation. My son Arjun Ranga, being the MD of the company, said, "Mom, you have been working for 22 years. You need to be appreciated." No, I don't need any appreciation, but the commitment the company has, and I have been working for so many years. I head the perfumery section of the company and look after the production. I am born and brought up in Chennai, studied in Sharda Vidyalaya because my house was in T Nagar, and studied in SIT, then moved to Mysore when I was 18. So I was in a joint family. I could accept any challenge I was so raw, I could be molded easily by my husband. Then my first entrepreneurial journey started with a plant nursery. I started a plant nursery. It was very successful. People were saying, "Oh, if you want to buy affordable plants within 10 rupees, we can go to Jahnavi's nursery." Then as time comes, then I had to give up. Then I headed the institution, Rangarao Memorial Junior College, and I was a principal and I could do very well. Then we have a residential school for blind girls. Then we have from 1st standard to 10th standard. I go there, be with the children and sing, give them head massage and talk to them. Then coming to the point, our blending, that is perfumery section, is always a secret because it is a family, I know, our madam will know it. It is a family-owned secret. We are well known because we blend our own perfume in-house. Use other manufacturers, they buy perfume from the market, but that is the trade secret. We export to 70 countries and we are world number 1. And about 60,000, every day 60,000 crore people pray with our agarbattis. And during Corona, I couldn't stop working because everybody need to pray. So it went off well, and then see, it is not easy. Every day Mondays are exclusively for the company. When I leave the house, I know my husband, now he was a brilliant man. He is the one who brought me to this state. He is having dementia. He will say, "Come, I'll also come with you to the factory." Then when I reach the car, and my cook will come and say, "What to cook?" Then I say, "Whatever you cook for others, keep some for me, I'll come and eat." Then when I come to then my son will call me and say, "Ma, is the production ready? The battis have to go." Then I have to be calm and smiling because if you put asafoetida in the kheer, what to do? So it is like cooking for me. I have to be smiling, I have to be sweet. Then when I go to my company, just lock everything. The world Naina calls me, says, what shall we do for the conference chairman? Then, yes, everything we'll do. And then once I get into the company, the doors are closed, my mind is shut. I'm so happy juggling with the perfumes and the things, and my girls also jump with me. And we have, our workforce is 80% women. So, all kinds, like everybody are motivated, they come with me, all educated. And in my section, I can have only uneducated who can't read because they should not know the secrets. So it goes very well. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janavi. Now I'm going to call Veena, who has an amazing brand, clothing and jewelry called Bilwa.
Good noon, ladies, gorgeous ladies and vibrant ladies in the room, and my fellow entrepreneurs on the stage. I am early married at 16, and I had a baby at 19. So it was a mental retarded baby, where my entrepreneurial journey started. Sorry.
It's okay, don't worry. It's fine.
Where that social entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurship started together for me. I was the youngest director for Women Cooperative Bank for in Chitradurga. So I was catering financial help for the very economically lower women, where we used to funding for them, and I was with them always there. The 6 years term, I catered for them. Then after that, we met within a very big financial crisis. My family was a business family. We had a lot of, we are born with a golden spoon actually. We have a lot of factories, like what you eat, it's refined oil and all. We are the wholesale suppliers all over the country. And we have a edible oil factory and refined factory, cotton ginning, pressing and all. We met within 96, we met with a very big financial crisis. Then again I started in a boutique to maintain my family and other things. Then at my 30 years of age, I worked in Times of India, Times Foundation, the 7th richest woman as per the Forbes. I worked with her. Everybody was saying, you are working with an angel. I met world spiritual leaders over there. That blessings again, all my family legal matters was settled, and we settled everything. Again, for my daughter's education, I came to Bangalore. There, I joined all the organizations to network. Any entrepreneur, network is a network. So network each other and you will rock. I started called a stitching company called V-Stitch, where I used to give door-to-door service to all the customers. I have 6 girls who run over Bangalore. Wherever the order comes, I used to send the nearest girl. They used to take measurement, pick the material, get it done, stitched, and door delivery within 10 days. This was my first entrepreneur, this thing in Bangalore. Then I started Vastra Bharna. Vastra means cloth, Abharna means jewel. This is Vastra Bharna I started. Then after this pandemic, again we faced lot of this thing. Every stone, whatever they thrown, whether the luck has thrown me, I make it as a stepping stone. Today I started called e-commerce platform. I was a second PUC when I married, school dropout. I completed my graduation, and today I started a e-commerce platform. This is totally technically enabled. The 40+ women who can't do the technically, today they can't use the smartphones. So I want to cater the nano entrepreneurs who don't know the technical part, who don't know to sell in the Facebook and other social media. That is Bilwa, brand of Indian Ladies Various Association. So you can log in. I am happy that Inavil, I was a secretary for Rotary in 97. So that now the Inavil has so progressed, they have their own e-commerce platform. I am happy for that. So any entrepreneurs in this room can join my e-commerce platform and sell. My dream was And every knock of a country, any village, any woman can sell in my e-commerce platform called Bilwa.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Veena.
one and all.
Thank you, Veena. I now invite Priya, who's got a host of businesses. So we'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank my district chairman, Alamelu Shivaramakrishnan, host district chairman, Kamala Selvam, and the organizing committee and all the dignitaries here. Thank you. It's my privilege to be here on this stage and address myself. I am Priya Nashmikar from a agricultural based family, and I would like to say this, like I belong to a Toda tribal community from Ooty. It is a proud introduction of myself to say that I belong to Toda tribal community to be here amongst all the ladies today. For us, being an entrepreneur is a dream. Will never happen, you know, like we finish our studies before 12th or anything, they get, girls get married and send them to the in-laws house. So there we will be given choices, like 3 choices: take care of the farm, or take care of the cattle, or take care of the children. So this is the choice I was given, but I refused to take that. After my marriage, I always wanted to be a self-reliant, and I wanted to do something. So I tried everything. After my daughter's birth, I went to take loans on my own. I didn't want to depend on my family or ask them for any help, because I know I would not get any support from them. So I tried getting loans from the bank. I had huge projects, in my hand. I will go with one by one to the bank. First thing, I went for the browsing center. To set up of browsing center, I went. Then my loan was rejected, saying that I have no experience or not enough bank balance or whatever. Then again, after 1.5 years, I went to another bank asking for the loan to set up a bakery. Again, my plan, project, everything was rejected. Then again I thought, so this is not working for me. Let me do, because Ooty is a hotel industry based town. So I joined hotel management after my daughter's birth. That is, my daughter was 1.5 years. I joined Merit Swiss International College in Ooty and did my hotel management. After 1.5 years, I came out. Everybody in family, they said, let her do whatever you want, but it should not go in vain. Then I wanted to join in any hotel industry. The salary or whatever it was, very, very less, which I spent was huge amount. Then I was trying to sort out things at family also at that time. There were a lot of struggles I had to go through meanwhile. I sorted out everything. Then I learned the happening business in Ooty is land development, construction, and interiors was booming at that time. So I chose that field at that time, and I went on pursuing on my dreams with that business. And from that day till now, I am a successful I'm a successful builder and land developer in Ooty. It has given me huge. I've put my school in one of the best schools in Ooty, and I joined Innoveel. The challenges are like client sourcing, finance, and all commuting and all. So as a client sourcing only, I joined Innoveel, and not so bad. I got some of the clients and some of the good friends. Wherever I go, I get good friends also. So thank you so much, one and all, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya. I now invite Leena, who's got a brand called Saheli.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leena Jayakumar, a district ISO from District 321. I became an entrepreneur only in the year 2018. Earlier than that, for more than 25 years, I had lived abroad in UAE and in Canada. I was an educator and I was a social worker after my MSW in Canada. Then I came back to UAE, did an MBA and became a project admin manager. But while I was acquiring degrees and juggling between jobs, I was still restless until I started my own venture, Saheli. Now, what is Saheli? Saheli is nothing but a women's clothier shop selling variety of saris and salwa materials at a nominal price. That's the underlining sentence. Directly from the looms to your hands was the adage. Now, why did I start Saheli? Saheli had been my dream for many years. Early 90s, when I got married and I moved to Trivandrum, those days there was only one shop and very less variety and very expensive sarees. So every year when we come back for vacation, I have to make a quick dash to Chennai to do all my shopping. Now about the funding, I had enough money of 22 lakhs from all the savings I had done from all my overseas jobs. So I decided to put that and start my own shop. I had a small building too in my property, so no overhead charges of paying rent or no EMI. So I could still afford to make it a nominal pricing. Then, how do I bring my stock? I go personally with my husband or my sister as a pleasure trip, sightseeing and business together. We meet the weavers and all the interactions was great experience for us. So we did not apply all our travel expenses to my poor customers. So I could still maintain the price. Now, you can ask me, what is so great about Saheli? There are 1,000 shops, women clothiers all around. I never called it a boutique because people generally assume boutiques sell expensive things. That's why I kept it as women's clothier. Even my maid would come in and say, Amma, I have 500 rupees with me. Come on, what is it that you call as a Jaipur cotton sari you're wearing? Come on, give me one. So that is Saheli for you. And so what is different about Saheli? Many does not know that I do customized customer care. I do not want to take advantage of the existing market, but I want to create my own path. So this, for all my overseas, my contacts, my friends abroad, I had my older son's wedding in Canada and I knew the difficulty of getting things done. So for most of my friends in Canada, US and UAE, with a simple blouse stitching format, I would send them the measurements, entire wedding shopping, entire stitching, along with the accessories, I send it to them. So that is how we make a profit. And even now, during COVID time, we had such weddings. The mistakes, don't overstock in any one variety and never be afraid to fail. This is just few years in my first step and I have long way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Leena. And now finally, we have Rekha, the serial entrepreneur.
A very, very good afternoon, all the beautiful and lovely ladies here. I'm Rekha Dande. So I run a restaurant called Twisty Tales. It's first of its kind in Chennai. So as you see the first picture, though I'm a proud parent of 17 puppies and 14 kitties. So the concept is, what we do is give happiness. Our tag or the logo or what we follow is spreading love through paws. Where did I start all this? I myself was not well. 2012, I was affected with a disease called multiple sclerosis, where I was paralyzed. First attack, second attack, I was blind for a month. Third attack, body-mind coordination was off. 7 months I was bedridden. That's when, even though I was wanting a pet from a second standard, my parents used to say, get first rank, I'll get you. Till my 12th standard, I never got first rank. Till second, I'll go, but not first rank. So never I had an opportunity to get a puppy in my life. So when I was not well, that's when my eldest son, Neo, came into my life. After he came, till my college days, everything I was quite challenging. Like I would love to achieve things, sports. I was sports captain. So like that. So once I was bedridden, I lost interest in life. That's when my son came into my life, I started mobilizing. Doctor said, she'll be a vegetable. That is no risk with life. But we can't guarantee her mobility and eyesight. Because there is no medicine as such for this treatment till now. Okay, this disease till now. So after he came, I started walking. So when he gives a second, that's when that achievement itself boosted me to what I am now. That's where I got to know about animal assisted therapy and activities, where people get healed with help of animals. Not just puppies, not just kitties, rabbits, fish. When you see the movement of the fish, your blood pressure will reduce. For everything, there is a treatment with help of animals. They are really an angels. That's the concept. Even though I wanted to start a restaurant, is my passion, and puppies, my love, both together is what I'm doing is Twisty Tales. So it is there in Chennai. You people should experience. It doesn't just fill your tummy, but also your heart. So next, pandemic. Pandemic, many people lost, many closed ones, and also many people lost their lives because of business. So at that time, so even though I had a lot of ideas on business, but after pandemic, I changed my ideas. I put hold of the other dreams with related to the pets. I got into another business called Dice Cart. It's been 1 year where we supply fruits and vegetables, because during pandemic, what we saw was medical field was good, pharmacy was good, essentials were good, digital was good. So then I got into all these three. One is Dice Cart, we supply fruits and vegetables, wholesale. We do to a lot of supermarkets and a lot of restaurants. I'm executive committee of Chennai Restaurant Owners Association. So through that, I'm getting a lot of connects with the hotels and restaurants, so I'm supplying to them. And supermarkets in Sri Paramuttur area, Katangulutur, nearly around 70 supermarkets we're supplying provisions and fruits. And OOPS is digital marketing media. So even though I'm not a very technical person, with the order of the day, I started OOPS Media and Twisty Beats, which is popping up. Thanks a lot. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you, Kamala ma'am. Thanks for choosing me. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Rekha. Now we just open the forum to questions. Please put your hand up, a mic will come to you, introduce yourself, and you can address anybody in the audience, on the panel. If you need some mics, you can take from us.
Can I pose a question?
Yes, yes, of course.
From experiences of people sitting on stage, we found the most lucrative business is roti, kapda and devudu, right? Thank you. All I wanted to know is, when you wanted to start a business or when you wanted to become an entrepreneur, who were the first ones who discouraged you, and who were the first ones who encouraged you?
Who is this question addressed to?
Any one of them can answer.
Two sentences. I think who are all living with us, whoever that may be, they are all discouraging us. So they only encourage when we took strong steps in our life.
Thank you.
A family discouraged and friends encouraged.
Arasi ma'am, I think she's right. Everyone around you, especially for my case, he said, oh, your husband is retired, whatever little money you have, you're throwing it into business, is it necessary? And all that. But who encourages you? You yourself. You believe in something and you firmly believe that it will become a success. Dream about it and always have a growth mindset. At any age, you can learn and improve your things. That's it. You are your own boss.
So this is actually a stats, okay? So out of 200 people whom I asked telling this concept of Twisty Tales, of which 90% of people said, no, it doesn't work out. Based on that, even my dad said, even he was encouraging, he was supporting. In the midway, he said, let us stop it. I said, okay, then I'm quitting. You take care of the restaurant. Then dad said, no, you just continue. Till date, with the ups and downs, my family is supporting me. They trust me, not supporting in the work-wise, but otherwise that trust that you can do it, that will push us. So we won't go down, okay, what should we do to make our people proud of what we are doing? So that really pushes us to go achieve things. And basically, what is your goal? Till you reach, till that conviction itself will push us to do things.
Hi, I have a question here. All of you have had wonderful entrepreneurial journeys. What is that one take you would like to share with the next young women entrepreneurs who come into this stream of wanting to be entrepreneurs and going through that grit and determination and wanting to be successful? What is that one take you'd like to share?
Never give up on what you believe. A lot of people have got their own opinions. So you take up something with your analysis. A third person, when you're going and asking, what do you think about this? They won't know about what steps you've undergone, what solutions or what problems, what analysis you've done behind. So you will know, you are the better judge to know that what you're trying to do. Never just go by opinions. Do take there if it is a very genuine point is there, you analyze, okay, something is there, we have to keep it in mind and give a solution to that and take it forward. Just don't drop it anywhere. Fix a goal, try achieving. When you feel it doesn't work out, you're not confident, then don't go for it. If you are confident, then only when challenges come, you won't give up. If you are not itself confident, any challenge come, okay, I was thinking, no, let us give up. But you should never give up if you're confident with what you want to achieve.
May I make an intervention here? We have someone like Hemu on the stage. I have no idea why she's keeping quiet. Question her, ladies. I think her experience is valuable. She's been down that road. She's already seen a lot of the stuff that you guys have seen.
Their experiences is so contemporary. I started my business in '87.
That's
But
okay. We like hearing old experiences.
Okay, one takeaway that I would say is when the idea comes to you, because all entrepreneurship is based on a concept. When the idea comes to you, the first thing people will say, it's not been done before. Why the hell are you doing it? If it could be done, it would have been done by now. But my retort to that is always, because it's never been done, it's going to work. So, you know.
Hi, this is Divya here from Chennai Daffodils, and thanks for the opportunity. I was sitting in the last row, and then entrepreneurship is my favorite topic, and hence I'm just, I pushed myself to the front. I'm also the founder of Women's League Foundation, and just to support here, I help women expand their business overseas. 3 years ago, I've taken 7 women with the government subsidy, and they have made close to like 9 to 10 lakhs in the 10 days of Business Expo. So I'll be more than glad to help the women here who want to expand their product or the services overseas through the government subsidies. So another thing, my question is for Hemu Ramaiah. So, ma'am, everybody knows Landmark, and I'm extremely glad to have met you today. And there's one question which I have for you. Having a business is like, bringing up a child, and when you sell it off or give it off, it is nothing like, you bring up a child and it's very with heavy heart, we have to let it go. So, you have sold your company. Did you use your brain or did you use your mind, and how difficult was it when you gave it away?
Okay, it's a good question. It's a question a lot of people ask me when I sold my business. But the important thing for all entrepreneurs, I don't want to say that now, but I mean, since you've asked me the question, most people think of starting a business, they don't think, how am I going to get off this treadmill? Because all businesses cannot last forever. You either give it to your kids, or you sell it, or you close it, or there has to be an end. So what is the exit? And what is it you want? How can you scale it up to exit it? So if it's a business that allows you to scale, this is why you need to keep constantly thinking about what your business format is. Can it scale up? Can it go more branches? Can it go national? Can it go international? I mean, I think the sky's the limit. And if and when, how are you going to exit? Because this is a question, I mean, I do a lot of mentorship on entrepreneurs. I'm a founder member of the Chennai Angels. So when people come, and also in Thai, I do a lot of mentorship. Nobody thinks about how they're going to exit. And it is something that you need to think about, because you cannot run a business forever. Either your kids take over, or you professionalize it, or you sell it. And in my case, I was very clear. I think like somebody said my introduction, I was clear that I wanted to start my business by 30. I was also clear I wanted to exit by 50. And exit is not something that you can just make up your mind one day and say, I'm tired of this, I can't do this anymore, I want to sell. It took me 4 years to plan my exit. So I think from the age of 45, 46, it was a constant planning, getting your company ready to be bought over, getting your company, getting your accounts, your processes. That's why we went in for ISO. Nobody in India had ever done an ISO in retail. You really normally do it in manufacturing. But the reason we did it in retail is to systemize it and put SOPs in place so that the business became more independent, irrespective of who was running it. Institutionalize it is like somebody said earlier, and I agree with that. So if it can run without you, then you've got a good product. So that's what we did. Think about exit, and it is something I wanted to do because there is a life out there. I mean, your business is your passion, but for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, but at some point you want to exit and you want to lead your own life. So, the 30 years, 33 years that I was in business, I had, actually, I was not a member of anything. I never heard of Rotary, I never heard of Angels, I never heard of anything. I mean, I just didn't go anywhere. I just went to work and came back. I enjoyed it thoroughly every minute. But everybody would say, we're calling, you're not coming. And I said, I just don't have the time. And everyone would say, get a life. Then that's the thought that said, yeah, we need to get a life. And a life before you get too old to travel, too old to enjoy what you've done. So the planning of exit, I think, is pretty critical, and it's quite joyful when it happens, and you hope that somebody will take it forward. Unfortunately, in my case, it didn't get taken forward because, it's the company that bought me was very different. It's a very different business model. So they applied the same rules, and it really didn't work. So it's one of those things, but no regrets.
Thank you, Hemu. Thank you, ladies. It's been a fabulous session. And I think Hemu having the last word made it so much more relevant to all of us.
I
were
hope
listening
to
to
see
you.
many more on the stage next year from your...
Thank
I'd like
you,
to
ladies.
add a point here. Okay. So
we need to stop now, if you don't mind. We're running out of time. The association president has to leave. Please have your personal one-on-ones wherever. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The ladies on the stage will be down. Anyone who wants to ask questions, feel free to approach them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We request the association president, accompanied by the district chairman, to present small citations to the ladies on the stage. What is that? Pictures?
Thank you very much, ladies. You are indeed an inspiration to many of us out here. Please carry on with your good work and hope you get more laurels in your lives.